Firstly, I would say focus. One must learn to focus. It's very easy to get distracted in, well, not only in today's world, at any time, but maybe more so in today's world. There is an information overload and so on. So one needs to learn to focus. There has to be a discipline to try to focus. And associated with that discipline, one would build a conviction. When we focus, we realize that getting into depth, then you start seeing solutions to various problems, and that builds confidence and conviction. Okay, so this is one type of learning that is important for a manager. A second type of learning is asking questions, critical thinking, and creative thinking. Why are things being done the way they are? Can we do things differently? What other things will achieve the same end goals as we are trying to achieve with what we already know? So this whole idea of critical and creative thinking, that has to be created, or that has to be imbibed as a second important aspect. A third important aspect is to learn to work in teams, in groups, because nothing gets executed by an individual only. An individual may form ideas, approaches, but you have to take people along. And therefore, listening to others and seeing how they look at an issue and building a form of consensus to move forward is important. And that's a third important aspect of learning. A fourth important aspect is boundary management. Often, as we build an organization or as we work in an organization, you would have systems, processes, rules. It's easy over a period of time to become subject to that. Now, there would obviously have been a logic as to why those were put in place in the first instance. But then we must always be open to change. With the changing environment, we should be open to change. Now, part of the change will come through critical thinking, but at the same time, one should know that change often comes at the boundaries of the organization or at the boundaries of existing rules and systems. So we should be open to not be subject all the time to rules, but if I need to go beyond the rule to achieve an end purpose, which is more meaningful, then I must be able to find a way to do that. And therefore, being aware of boundaries and not making boundaries hard, but making them more meaningful is important. The essential understanding of management is how do organizations work, because management builds on the premise that when we want to scale up activities, make them more effective, we need to organize better, and often the organizing is done by having an organization. The organization typically would have to have a strategy. It would have to have an understanding of the market environment, the regulatory environment, the technological environment, and then internally it would need to ensure that all the activities are being performed well. It would need to have the finances, it would need to manage its own people, and it would need to manage information. Now, these are the primary elements of making an organization effective. These are taught through a whole range of subjects, and therefore there is subject learning. So now when you say MBA education, you see there are MBAs and MBAs in a country like ours. There are probably, I don't know, 3,000 plus institutions that offer an MBA in the country. Because this is one of those, learning domains that got opened out by the government. And there are people who award degrees and diplomas, and there's a whole range of MBAs. Out of the 2,000, I would probably, out of the 3,000 plus, I'd probably say about 800 are a little more meaningful. And out of the 800, I would say probably 50 or 50, maybe to be a little more kind on that, to say up to 100 institutions, maybe providing the transformational MBA, while the rest of the institutions are just providing more the learning of the what kind. So, they only enable you to build a language, a vocabulary of management, rather than actually perform well as a manager. So for those institutions where we're doing the transformational education, I think they are always relevant, because you actually create a manager not to fit any known existing roles. They are made to go out and continue to be a learner. So if the context changes, well, they should be able to quickly adapt themselves and change their business, change the products that they are trying to get out into the market, change the way they may deal with their customers as their customer profile changes, because they are constantly looking out for what is changing and then enable themselves to deal with that change. But those MBA programs that are more textbookish and get people who are only trained for a particular context, well, as the context changes, their ability to adapt may be limited, and therefore, may not always be relevant. There are elements of management education which are, in a sense, you are learning by asking the question, what? So I need to know basics of accounting. So, what is a profit and loss statement? What is a balance sheet? Or I need to know basics of economics. I need to know basics of marketing. These are all eminently doable online. But as you start developing critical thinking around these, why should I do my accounting in a certain way? Can't we, look at alternate ways of approaching a certain way of accounting for an expenditure? Or, there is a lot of nuances that start building up and actually lead to excellence in management. I think learning at that level may be more effectively done in class. Again, I would add, there is an element of relationship building. If the relationship between the instructor and the student evolves in a way where there is an understanding that has got built up, then again the distance and the online nature may not come in the way as much. But overall, like at IIM Bangalore, we claim that management education is transformational in nature. Especially when we talk of our 2-year MBA program, the way a student comes in and in 2 years, the way they get transformed, I think there are many parts of that transformational experience which have to happen in class. But there is equally a significant part that can happen online. This has to be addressed at two levels. One is, do we have a choice of going in class versus not having the choice? So if you have the choice of going in class, I would say in class in its own way would add more value than online as far as education is concerned. There's a lot to be said about body language. There's a lot to be said about facial expressions, emotions, which are better experienced when you are in class. But then having said that, if the choice is not there, like currently in the COVID situation, or if we also trade off with the fact that reaching a particular place where that education or that learning is being provided in its own way is expensive, in terms of time taken to travel or the cost or whatever, and therefore there is a convenience in not having to do that. Well, I guess there is a small trade-off where we may get a lesser effective learning, but then we gain in the fact that we really don't have to physically go to some place. So we have to view it in that light. The differential between doing something online and in class, the differential in the learning effectiveness is more when it's a complex aspect that is sought to be taught or learned. If it's a very simple, basic building block type of learning, then the differential between doing something online and doing it in class is minimal. And therefore, online will be here to stay for all those elements of learning, where you're, in a sense, you're teaching the ABCs of a subject. You're teaching, basic building blocks before one starts getting into severe critical analysis, developing new concepts. So when learning starts moving to that level, then the differential in the learning becomes more. So a large part of learning is of the basic kind, be it in music, be it in management, be it in, learning scriptures. I think, therefore, online is here to stay. Yes, I think one of the first things I would say is that we should not take it light just because it's not an in-class environment. One should do pre-preparation, which many times in an in-class environment gets tested because an instructor might cold call on you and ask you questions, so you better be prepared. Whereas in an online environment, it's far easier to hide away. In fact, it's also possible that one might think that I will multitask. When I'm in an online environment, I can, look at this and or walk away for a few minutes to do something else. While sometimes it could be a high value convenience, but then one is not providing the required focus for the learning. So I think the pre-preparation and the discipline during the online class are important ways of mentally preparing oneself. Apart from that, of course, one should be on top of the subject, which, otherwise there is no learning. One has to mentally apply and engage. That is equally good in a classroom or in an online environment. But in an online environment, as I said, one should not take the fact that you are away and can sometimes hide away, and therefore take it as a lighter form of engagement. I think that to me would be the most important aspect of maximizing learning effectiveness in the online environment for the student. Because of fast changing environments, we also need new products, new technologies, new ways of adapting technologies, some of which a good manager would be able to enable. But ultimately, you also need people who are technically equipped. So I think apart from management, the research, development, new product development, design thinking, innovation or innovative thinking. So people who are equipped to do this in different domains. Today maybe pharma is important, right? Everybody is looking for a cure for COVID. So such jobs would also become exciting, meaningful, maybe even pay well, depending on what's important in the environment. So I think management is always there to stay, but there would also be other career choices which I think would have an equal value, and in fact students must be encouraged to also consider such careers. How does e-com happen? I think to me a large part of e-com happening is management thinking. Some part of it are people who have the technological skills, be it the computer science, the ability to program, ability to work with internet, develop software, develop good graphics, develop a good user interface. Yeah, so that's the technical side. But it is the managerial side that understands how to put all this together and how to make a viable business out of it. So in the e-commerce business, I think management is very important, but also the technological content that enables it. Management education is good. It's a great equalizer because you can come from any field and then do a management, get into management education. So it's not an education that one should take loosely. And therefore, I would say, first of all, aspire for the best schools because they provide a challenging environment for learning. Given the long list of management schools that are there, I think you must aspire for the top 50 or so and give yourself a chance at transformative education in management.